Hey honey washday, my name is Michelle from Thor Wants Another Letter. I am Oglala Lakota and a member of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, and this is part 2 to being Indigenous on Booktube. I filmed that video on September 11th, 2019, and so we are 4 months and 3 years on part 2. I'm going to be answering a few questions that were given to me in the first video, and I'm also going to follow up with a few of my feelings on the community, on what has changed and what has stayed the same consistently. Some of your feelings might get hurt, but I feel it needs to be said, albeit Booktube generally doesn't really listen when it comes to people in the Indigenous community speaking out on certain topics. So we'll see what happens, because generally what happens is that big influencers, big people will share this video, say, hey, you need to go watch this video, and then things will stay the same. So we'll see what happens. Alrighty, so one question that said, what books have made you feel seen? As of always, I'm going to say Apple in the Middle for the skin representation. She has since put out another book called Jojo McCoon's The Used to Be Best Friend, and I loved it. However, David Heskawambly-Wyden came into my life. He is amazing. I got to talk to him. He follows me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm like, what? And I've met his girlfriend via Instagram and Twitter, and she's amazing. Erica Worth, great writer. She's funny. I love her. Okay, I got this last month. It was awesome, and it's so beautiful. And as always, what makes me feel the most seen is Winter Counts by David Heskawambly-Wyden. But this was great. Y'all need to go get this. Right. So, there's a question that asks me if I feel pressure. Do I still feel pressure? No. I more so feel emotional burnout when there are certain subjects that are brought up within the community and outside of the community, and to see influencers either spread it, like talk about it in their stories or talk about it in a YouTube video, but yet after that, like, it goes calm, nobody does anything, nobody says anything. It's just the continuous people standing up for us and trying to say something and then just failing. Like, so we had like rainforests, fires in Australia, natural resources, water protests, things like that. Dead silence. Okay, we had Gabby Petito that went missing in August, September, and was found deceased, but yet at the same time, murdered, missing Indigenous women and girls, Two-Spirit and men go missing every single day, and I don't see anyone posting shit. I've talked about it in videos. I made a whole entire video dedicated to a book review that correlates my family's experience with the experience of a character in a book. I've also dealt with people about TJ Klune. Y'all still love him. Y'all still buy his special edition, blah, 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 blah. And then there's residential schools. So many children that were raped and molested and tortured, killed for speaking their language, for not doing this, for little simple shit. And to see them being dug up this whole of 2021 and not seeing anybody say anything is so dis-fucking-heartening. I had to talk to my mom about it, and my mother is a residential school survivor. You know what it was like for her to talk about to her was a simple something that happened on a daily basis, and to hear her talk about it with just no flinches, nothing. And the intergenerational trauma that trickles down, the fact that she's not able to speak Lakota, the fact that she's not able to do certain things, that all still trickles down to me. And it sucks to see people like TJ Klune that have literally garnered fame and success from those traumatic events thrive. And then also it sucks when you see other natives that are like, oh, well, I don't find it offensive. It's like, good for you. But it sucks. It really sucks. More so when it's like from people that are actually in your own community rather than from like, your white favorites, because obviously they're still going to love and endorse the problematic content because they don't care. And that's not to say that they don't all care, because there are some really amazing creators within this community that actually uplift Native voices, that actually make the effort to get to know people like me, like Bear and Kim and all of these amazing people. So, but it is disheartening. A lot of you European booktubers could definitely step up. I have some amazing European friends, but there's a lot of them that just... Shout out to Connor. Love you so much. New shows with good rep. I would have to say Reservation Dogs. Love that show. Trigger fucking warning for suicide, alcoholism, child abuse, child abandonment, a lot of really dark things. But the way that it's told, there's humor, there's love, there's joy, there's family, albeit the word Skoden and Studis has been used way too much, in my opinion. Me and Ren were talking about this for like hours. I still have a crush on Zahn McLaren, though. I will never stop simping for that man. Like, he just... Chambers, I watched an episode of that. It was great, scary. It should have never been canceled. Never. As of that date, I only knew of two of us. There was Wheezy and there was Bear. And now we have like 32 plus. A lot of these people are on Instagram, but there's like 6 or 7 of us that are on YouTube. And it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I have a thread on my Instagram, so go seek those people out for yourself. Consult your Google or whatever. I am not your token friend to give you all the information. Google still exists. Instagram still exists. If you can find me, you can find a bunch of other people. So people that I know and love, like Neil, Bear, Ren, Sel, Alexis, Melita, Aaron, Danny, Wheezy, Emery, B, from a tribe called Beauty. I'm gonna look it up. B from IYKYK. NEECHEEKWE. That B, not somebody else. Gare, Kim, Mallory, Leela, Min, Sam, Rob, Betsy, Vanessa, Victoria, Trisha, Tasha, Hunani, like so many amazing people and teachers and like just people that read Indigenous literature, that promote it, teachers that have, like Megan from Tippler Teachers, amazing content. If you're a teacher and you need more educational tools, go to her stuff, because it's amazing. And my words are the same. Like, don't let someone gatekeep you from your culture. And also to add, if we were all to go to a book thing, it would not be me that would be bringing the fry bread. It'd be Kim. Kim's fry bread is thebomb.com. I have not tried it. I haven't been on that side of the coast yet, but when I do actually get to go there, that's where I'm going. We're all gonna eat. We're gonna eat really good, and we're gonna sleep really good that night. And I did get to meet Bear, so I am so happy about that. We get to meet in September at in Florida, and it was amazing. So those are like the questions, and so here are some of my notes. So strap in for a very bumpy ride. So here are the things that have not changed. People saying that they're going to read more Indigenous literature and then don't. That's not to say that there aren't people that have, because I will talk about some of those people later on. Just, I see it. I see you. A lot of your favorites, they just don't try. And when I say this, I mean that they would rather pick up a book by an Indigenous author or that have a Native author in it, or, you know, they're affiliated, and they would rather just like rate it 3 stars than actually try. And Melissa from Melissa's Bookshelf on Book Talk once. Okay, yeah, Melissa from Melissa's Bookshelf. She made a very good video on Book Talk. I stitched it, so you can find me on there. And she talks about how people would rather not read it because it makes them confront the uncomfortable truths. It makes them confront things about themselves that maybe they don't want to see, and also they would rather just not read it, or read it through, or rate it low, because it's uncomfortable. And albeit most literature with something that isn't white, or something that isn't, you know, super popular or whatever, is going to be uncomfortable, because it makes you confront your ideas on it makes you confront things like colonization and the system and the way that racism works against Black and brown BIPOC bodies. And so I feel like a lot of people would rather just rate it low or rate it 3 stars, you know, because 3 stars is still a good rating. Okay, maybe, but at the same time, when you have authors that are so great and so amazing, and seeing the rating just go lower and lower and lower, it's just like, a lot of people depend on those ratings. It made me so mad to see My Heart is a Chainsaw come out, and to see some of your favorites be like, well, I liked it, but it really wasn't, or, you know, The Only Good Indians, where a lot of people rate it and they're like, oh, well, I didn't really understand it, and I didn't really get it. That just irritated me beyond belief, because there's context in it that you're not going to understand unless you were within the culture. But at the same time, that's what Google's for. That's what looking at other reviewers' ratings is for, from the community. That's what helps. If you don't understand something, it's like, oh, okay, so I looked it up, and basketball, like from The Only Good Indians, basketball, that is something that a lot of kids really like, and, you know, it keeps a lot of kids going, and it keeps a lot of, athletics is something that keeps a lot of kids from not getting into trouble, and, you know, it's like, use this. I know you got one. I know some of you are very smart, very brilliant. Use it, okay? You use it. So stop saying you're going to read a book if you don't read it. I've seen So many people will be like, oh yeah, I need to read this book, and then I just never see them talk about it. I never see them read it. Me, myself, that's why I make a video, because if I put something in a video and I'm like, I need to read this, that's because I'm holding myself accountable, because I know I'm gonna forget, and it stares me in the face every single day. Every single time I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't read a lot away. It's all a year and a half it's been out. I need to read it. So here's the problem with a video like this. We post videos like this. Bear posted one last year. Bear and I posted this in being Indigenous on Booktube in 2019. There have been other videos that were posted, or even posts on Instagram, by other Indigenous people. Even Indigenous authors have kind of put their 2 cents on certain things that they actually can talk about, because a lot of the times, an author says something, gets canceled. An author does something, gets canceled, right? I do not want to see any of my favorite authors that are Indigenous get canceled because they said something that was true. So here's the thing. This video will probably get some shares. I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Maybe no one will notice. It will get some traction. Maybe some of your more popular booktubers will share it and say, hey, go watch this. It'll get retweets. But eventually, if you're just coming here to fill a box and you're not actually watching, then you're not taking in the information. You're not taking in, who I am. I'm not just a booktuber. I am not just a reader. I'm a mother to an autistic child. I write cards for a card company for a living. I like to bake. I like trash books and TV. I like to watch ghost material. I like to do a bunch of other things. And I just posted a tag all about that. So, and I tested this quota box theory when I posted 8 videos almost in a row of using Indigenous in the title. And those got more views than any other thing that I posted, aside from a couple of TikToks that had book talk in the title. And so there's a lot of talk about diversity. However, when it comes to things like book live shows, book guest spots, collaborations, anything of that nature, the only time I get a DM is if it's from somebody that I speak to on a weekly or even a daily basis. And this is something that I wanted so dearly. I said it in that video. I wanted to be invited to a book club. I wanted to be invited. I did that. I even had my own book club with Autumn, and I had a book club with Alexis. It didn't work out. Why? Time, really. Also, things were happening in our lives that were so chaotic, and so there was just not time for it. That happens. Sometimes you have good ideas and sometimes they fail, and that's okay. Failure is okay. It's okay to fail. I was invited by the Margaret and Brianna and Bree and Cal to be in the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge co-hosts, and I got to meet so many amazing people. I got to meet Bethany in September, and Bethany and I have known each other for like a year and almost a year and a half now. I got to talk to them about I got to talk to her about like Twilight and The Lord of the Rings and other things that I got to talk to her about, and she is such an amazing person. I got to be on the Feminist as Fuck Book Club live show with Rachel. My very first ever appearance on a channel that was not mine was actually Margaret from The Word Nerd. I got to be on the Brother Bear live show of Vaultathon. It was an underrated movie that we watched. It was amazing. Go back and look at it. And I got to read Christine Day for the first time ever in my life. I had never heard of her before. She's amazing. She's just, I love her. I was invited on another Twilight live show from Connor and Ashley and Jess and a bunch of other people. However, I wasn't able to make that. There was something that happened. But the point is that I got invited. I was invited. But that's it. That's all that's happened. I would love to do so much more. And it sucks because it hurts my feelings. And I see so many great conversations being had, and there are not enough for people like me and other Indigenous and BIPOC people invited, included, even asked, or to just make friends, or to make a post, or it doesn't have to be some big grand thing. Sometimes it can be something as simple as a buddy read. This is why I try to strengthen my friendships with other people, like Carmen from Tomes and Textiles. Carmen is amazing. Carmen makes amazing Latinx content on her TikTok. She is amazing at Photoshop or whatever it is. I want to be like her when I grow up. She also has an amazing wardrobe. I wish I could be like Carmen. I really do. She's just chef's kiss. Another thing my friend mentioned, not gonna name her name because she has other stuff going on. But, so she mentioned that there were lives where only white people were on it, and they're all friends. And these are like some big influencers in the community, and it's all, you just see all white faces. And I feel like that's a really big problem, because you're not allowing other voices, you're not allowing other people to put in their 2 cents, to put in their feelings on that subject. That subject could be something as simple as, do you dog ear your books or do you put a bookmark in? It doesn't have to be huge. That's the thing. It's not like I want to be part of something so huge and grandiose. I just want to be included. I don't want to just be included for me. I want to be included for other people. I want to be included I'm still healing my inner child. I'm still healing that young bit of me that still looks at her skin, and I'm still that girl that looked at her skin in the sink and just scrubbed herself until she was absolutely pink and raw. Because I just felt so much shame. So, I don't do this just for me. I do this for her. Because one day she's going to grow up and she's going to aspire to do things, to be a journalist, which that didn't work out. She's going to aspire to read books, and then she's going to get approached by people in this community. She's going to be approached by publishers who she never imagined would jump in her emails. She's going to get sent books. And so I don't do this I do this for her. The me that was so hurt by what other people did and what other people said, and now I finally get a voice. I finally am able to express myself the way that it should be. And I really, really wish that a lot more book influencers who are not only just white, but have a large following. And I don't just mean like a couple of thousand or 10,000. I mean people that are like way up here. I mean like 50K, 100K, way up there. I've seen some that are like amazing. I've seen some people that have amazing followings, huge followings, that have found people like me, or you know, like befriended people, and they have like such an amazing friendship and amazing relationships. And there are some people that I just don't see it happening for them. I just don't see them changing in this way, and it really is very unfortunate, because there are so many great discussions to be had, not just about, big things like race or gender or things like that within the community, but also like little stuff like, hey, what Netflix show are you watching right now? That's what I'm saying. Meeting people. So, I don't mean this just like in person. I mean on Instagram, Twitter, what have you. So I was so happy that I got to go to Florida. I cannot thank Bethany and Rachel enough for being these amazing people that I've met in my life, but I got to meet them in person. Like, I got to be around Bethany and like kind of understand like some of her personality, and I got to understand some of Rachel's personality, and Carlos. Fucking love Carlos. I fucking love that man. Mwah. Love him so much. He's amazing. And I got to see their eyes light up when they talk about certain subjects. I got to see them laugh. And, there are some of these things I never would have gotten to see if I had never put myself out there, or if they hadn't noticed me, or if, my video or something hadn't come across their page. I'm now in a group chat with Rachel, and like, it's fucking amazing because I also get to talk to Sel, who is also Indigenous, and I get to talk to Bethany on an almost like semi-daily, not daily quite yet, but like a semi-daily basis. She's amazing. Chef's kiss, love her. And I talk to Alex from Pucks and Paperback on an almost daily basis. I haven't met him yet, but I will. And Bear, I got to meet finally. Like, we got pictures together. They're online. Stephen Graham Jones retweeted us. It was amazing. Okay. And so I'm so glad I got to meet those people. But like, if I wasn't here, we would have never met. And so I don't want this just for me, but I want this for everybody. And something I would love to be included in more LGBTQIA and Two-Spirit centered events, book talks, not like TikTok book talk, but like talking about books and like reading queer literature. That's important to me. I'm non-binary, pansexual, and there's just not enough. I'm just now getting I have now like a couple books with pansexual rep. Haven't read them yet, but I want to. And the thing is that I feel like I've been saving some of my experiences for something bigger on Booktube. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. Time will only tell. But I am open to collaborations. I am open to talking to people about queer literature. Not just Indigenous literature, but queer literature. Because it's something that means a lot to me. Because it's something I have to think about in not only just right now, but like, in the future. And we say that representation matters, but I don't see it enough on Booktube. I really don't. And we have these conversations over and over, and nothing really changes. And I wish it would change. And, the original video that I posted about my roots and answering questions about myself, that's all still true. I still feel the same way about Sherman Alexie. I fucking hate him. If he got ran over by a steamroller tomorrow, no skin off my back. I cannot stand men who sexually assault women and people. Not and I don't care if they have written something that was great. I don't care if they put out something that was amazing. What they did affected a lot of people, and it hurt people, and that's not okay. So I still hate him, okay? There's a lot of people that have like kind of showed their true colors, and don't get me wrong, there are a couple of Indigenous even reviewers or people in certain, like even the film community, that I personally don't like. But I would rather see proper representation than not see it at all. And here's the thing. I could wave 5 to 20 books in front of your face, talk about them at length, and I could give a review of all the books that I read in November, but it's fully up to you to make the decision to put those books on your TBR, to put those books on your story gallery, what is that called? Storygraph, your Goodreads TBR, your Amazon wish list. It's fully up to you to purchase them, to bring them into your home, to put them on your tablet or whatever, get it from the library. It's fully up to you to make the decision to actually read it, to actually consume that media, to listen to Frank Waln, to listen to Hallucination. I think that's what they're called now. They used to be called A Tribe Called Red, but then there was a whole thing. But it's up to you to make those decisions. It's up to you to read about like First Nations people. It's up to you to read about Inuit people. It's up to you to read about Australian Aborigine people and the things that they had to go through. It's up to you to read about Sami people. It's up to you to read about people in the within the Amazon rainforest. It's up to you to read about Indigenous Brazilians. It's up to you to read about Afro-Indigenous people, or to consume that literature, to consume that media. It is up to you. And so, do I have any books? Yeah, of course. I have an entire shelf. But it is up to you. And I've seen a lot of people where I could recommend books to them. Like, we had a whole romance read-along last year, babe. We had a whole read-along about it. 6 months of amazing books. Granted, a couple of them were not my favorite, but we had some really good ones. We had an entire discussion about them, about books, about movies. Granted, I need to read a lot more. I need to read a lot more about Australian Indigenous peoples. However, we're getting there, one day at a time. Oh, Maori people, Polynesians, everything under that umbrella. There's so many stories that have not yet been read. There's so many stories that even myself I haven't found or heard of. I'm learning new things every single day, and I encourage you to learn. I encourage you to seek these things out, because how are you to be a better ally? How are you to be a better friend, a better person, if you do not go and seek these things out? And this is not to make you feel bad or to make you feel guilty, maybe to make you feel a little bit guilty, but this is not to call anybody out. This is not to, this is calling out, but no one in particular. And if I've said something in here that offends you, or you think I'm talking about you, If the shoe fits, lace that bitch up and get better. And if there's anything else that I can If there's anything else that I feel, this is a great part 2, by the way, because I'm now losing steam. Are there any other books that I would like to recommend? I don't know. I have not read any Indigenous literature yet of 2022. I'm kind of busy with my arcs right now. I'm very proud of myself because we're reading arcs right now. A couple of things I'm looking forward to. Robin Covington's romance. I still have to read the very first one, and I don't know when the third one's coming out yet. I still haven't read anything by Darcy Little Badger, but those kind of videos are coming soon. Probably. I haven't read any memoir stuff yet, but I plan to. Tommy Pico. I have a couple of library. There's some on the library. I'm trying to get into some audiobooks. I still have to read that Melissa Lashenko book. There's still a lot of things that I have to do. There's still a lot of things I want to read. So that's all you're gonna get from me today. I'm hoping that everything goes well for me. And I hope that you're doing well. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Make sure you're bundling up because it is cold. Today was 30 degrees outside, but I know it's colder in other areas. Make sure that you are, if you are from a snowy area, make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're putting gear in your car, bringing blankets, stuff like that. That's important, okay? Make sure that you don't drive if you're incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. Make sure that you tell the people that you love them, because you just never know, okay? This last week I lost my stepmother, and it's been really hard. My mom was in the hospital a few days ago, and that was scary. And Soren, it has to go to a doctor's appointment tomorrow. But that's less serious. But I just wanted to say, just protect yourself and be safe. Make sure you're eating during the day, drinking water, and I only want the best for you and for everybody. And that is it for me. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.